magnificent, even more beautiful than the picture. Just then, the tea kettle whistled. "She writes a charming card," said Lista. She dumped the rest of Hermux's mail on the counter and started toward the door. She would have to walk fast to get to Laneda Prink's coffee shop before the 2:20 rush. Lista wanted the center seat at the counter so she could be heard when she gave her performance of Linka's postcard. It was good that she had gotten the chance to rehearse. Then there was the business of Cladenda Nottam's past due bill from Orsic and Arbel. She would probably save that for last. It would make a good finale. Chapter 2. Don't Fence Me In. Hermux set his tea and cookies down on the counter. He situated himself on his stool by the cash register and opened his new issue of the Weekly Squeak. An article on page 1 caught his eye. Whose museum is it, anyway? Donor seeks a room of her own. A Muzella Corkin exclusive. Officials at the Pinchester Museum of Art and Science have delivered a surprising ultimatum to one of its biggest patrons, cosmetics tycoon Tucka Mertslin. "We have asked Miss Mertslin to vacate our premises immediately," explained Museum Director Dr. Vannerly Perunk. "We hope that she will cooperate and that we can resolve this situation without resorting to force." The dispute revolves around Mertslin's unauthorized use of one of the museum's most popular galleries, the Tucka Mertslin Gallery of Monumental Art. Named for its benefactor, the gallery was built to house the treasures of fabled cat king Kanarshpa. Problems began shortly after the gallery's opening last month. "One day, without notice, Miss Mertslin simply moved into the gallery," said Perunk. "She showed up with a moving van, cabinets, and a desk. She ignored the guards and set up an office right in front of the king's mummy. The next thing we knew, she'd moved her secretary in too. Now she's got 2 secretaries. Last week she announced that the gallery would be closed to the public except for Tuesdays during her lunch hour. I'm the head of the museum, and I have to make an appointment just to visit her. It's a ridiculous situation." In an interview at her sleek corporate headquarters, Mertslin dismissed the museum's complaints as typical bureaucratic meddling. "What is so ridiculous about my wanting a little privacy when I'm working?" Mertslin asked. "After everything I've done for that museum, I can't believe they want to deny me such a small pleasure." Style guru Rink Fiersheen agrees. "Why shouldn't she use it? Have you seen her at that desk? She looks fabulous next to the gold mummy." A longtime collaborator of Mertslin's, Fiersheen designed the gallery space with her specifically in mind. "I wanted to inspire her, and I succeeded. How can you blame her for wanting to spend time there? I can't believe they want to throw her out." Dr. Perunk outlined the museum's position. "Miss Mertslin is certainly welcome to visit the gallery at any time during normal museum hours, but she must understand that she gave the gallery to the museum. It's not hers anymore." "We'll see about that," Mertslin countered. "I'm not normally a very aggressive person, but once I put down roots, it's not easy for me to pull them up." Dr. Perunk has scheduled an emergency meeting of the museum's board of directors. "If she is not out of the gallery by the end of the week," he vowed, "I intend to ask the board to begin formal eviction proceedings." "Just let them try," said Mertslin. "They'll find out that the justice system is not quite as blind as they think." Hermux finished the article. He tried to imagine anyone evicting Tucka Mertslin from any place, but he drew a complete blank. Just then the door opened, and a flying squirrel walked into the shop. Chapter 3. Special Delivery. The flying squirrel pushed his goggles up onto his forehead, revealing a pair of very large, round eyes. The squirrel stopped and appraised the details of Hermux and his shop. He saw Hermux in his orange plaid sweater and bow tie with his newspaper in paw. He registered the sales counter with its 3 heights to accommodate Hermux's customers, who came in a variety of sizes. The neat glass cases were filled with watches, and wooden shelves crowded with clocks lined the walls. The squirrel's dark eyes sparkled with a mix of curiosity and amusement. "Hermux Tantamoq?" he asked. "Yes," answered Hermux. "That's me." "Sign here," the squirrel said. He was a messenger. He wore a brown leather cap with sculpted ear flaps and a chin strap, a brown corduroy jacket zipped to the neck, matching corduroy pants, brown boots that laced up almost to his knees, and brown gloves. Over his shoulder he carried a canvas pouch. He slapped a clipboard down on the counter. "4th line from the top," he said, smoothing the fur along the line of his chin. "And print your name below." "Goodness," said Hermux, "I've never gotten a note by messenger." "You haven't got it yet," the messenger said coolly. What kind of place is this, anyway? It's a watch shop. So what do you watch? I don't watch anything, Hermux explained. I make watches. Actually, I mostly repair watches. Not many people get them made anymore. I had a watch once, the messenger said. It broke. He removed an envelope from his pouch, examined Hermux's signature, and handed the envelope to Hermux. Hermux eagerly tore it open and read. Varmint Variety Theater. Mr. Tantamoq, I must speak with you today about a matter of utmost importance. Please meet me at the theater at 4 o'clock. This is urgent and confidential. Do not discuss it with anyone. Fluster Varmint, Theatrical Impresario. P.S. Once you have read this note, please destroy it. Looks kind of serious, commented the flying squirrel. Hermux shielded the note from the squirrel's view and eyed him suspiciously. Just routine, he said. He crumpled the note casually and slipped it into his pocket. So, is there an answer? The squirrel asked. An answer? When people get a message, they usually write back. Sorry, said Hermux. I didn't think of that. You mean right now? No time like the present. The squirrel sounded a little bored with his work. Is that included? The squirrel shook his head. No, it'll cost you. How much? Hermux asked. Depends on when you want it to get there. What would you suggest? The flying squirrel eyed the return address. Fluster Varmint, huh? You'd better send it ASAP. With VIPs, it's better to play it safe. How much does that cost? $25. $25? That's a lot of money. Maybe I could just telephone. How well do you know Varmint? I don't know him at all, Hermux admitted. Then forget the phone. You'll never get through. It's the problem with VIPs. That's where I come in. He pointed to the embroidered patch on his jacket. It showed a flying squirrel, arms, legs, and tail outstretched against a brilliant blue sky. Encircling it was a motto, We Deliver. Guaranteed, the messenger said. Hermux thought it over. $25 was definitely a lot of money, but it was exciting to get a note from Fluster Varmint, the most famous man in show business. Besides that, it was a mysterious note, and recently Hermux had developed a taste for mystery. All right, he said, I'll do it. Hermux sat down and wrote out a note in his nicest handwriting. Dear Mr. Varmint, I look forward to meeting you. Until then, Hermux Tantamoq, watchmaker. He put the note in an envelope and copied out the address. He handed the note to the flying squirrel, who tucked it inside his pouch. Then Hermux opened his wallet and counted out $25. The flying squirrel stuffed the money into his pocket. What's back there? He asked, motioning toward the round doorway at the back of the shop. That's my workshop, said Hermux. That's where I fix things, watches and clocks. I'm a recognized expert in the repair of cuckoo clocks. Interesting, said the flying squirrel, but he didn't sound very interested, and he showed no signs of leaving. After a minute, Hermux asked, Hadn't you better be going if you're going to deliver that ASAP? The messenger took out a chewing stick and bit off the end. People usually tip, he said. Tip? Tip, you know, money. It's terrible when things get lost. Oh, said Hermux. Dutifully, he took out his wallet again. How much? $5 is customary. $5? This was turning out to be an expensive mystery, and it had barely begun. Hermux removed a $2 and a $3 bill and offered them to the squirrel. Both ways, the squirrel said. Hermux didn't understand. The squirrel explained. $5 for delivering Varmint's message. He stopped and spat a stick chip on the floor for emphasis. And $5 for picking up your message. Get it? But you were already here for the pickup, Hermux protested. Never mind, the messenger said wearily. Give me the $5, and this time we'll call it even. Chapter 4. Temper Fugit. The Varmint Variety Theater had once been in the very best part of Pinchester. But the best part of Pinchester had moved on, while the theater, which had been the site of Fluster Varmint's greatest triumphs, stayed where it was. The neighborhood wasn't exactly run down, but daylight didn't bring out its best qualities. Not that it mattered that much. Most people came at night. If Hermux hadn't been in such a rush, he would have enjoyed looking around. There was a big sale on used toasters at Gammelroy's Appliances. 2 for the price of 1, which sounded to Hermux like a good bargain. There was a left shoe only